Hey everyone, welcome back to the Emberhart podcast. There's a lot on the table today, so buckle up. You are listening to episode 15 of season 2. The Messy Heart of Leadership, Reflections from Nordic Business Forum 2025. Dear Amelia Emberhart, I am reflecting on the lessons from the Nordic Business Forum 2025. The event was a whirlwind of ideas, conversations, and provocations. But rather than overwhelm you with every note taken, I wanted to share the essence, the handful of insights that truly struck me. Not all the speakers made my list, only those who spoke directly to the human core of leadership. Here are the voices that stayed with me. Sukhinder Singh Cassidy, Culture, Values and the Shadow They Cast. Sukhinder began with a distinction that seems obvious at first, but is rarely understood in practice. Soul, values and culture are not the same thing. Too often companies use them interchangeably, which muddies clarity. She explained it this way. The soul of the company is its essence, the thing that animates it. The values are the principles that guide choices and actions, and the culture is how all of that gets expressed day to day. Habits, rituals, behaviors. When culture is strong, it also casts a strong shadow. That shadow can uplift, but it can also stifle innovation if it becomes too rigid. Her antidote: lean harder on values that grow resilience. Grit, adaptability, and a mindset that stretches toward purpose. Culture is not a shrine, it is clay. It must be continuously reshaped to serve the evolving mission of the organization. Most striking was her point about dissatisfaction. We are not truly frustrated when the company fails us. It is when we fail ourselves. When our actions do not match our own values or ambitions, we feel empty. Alignment between purpose and behavior is where real satisfaction and sustainable culture lives. Gianpiero Petriglieri, Belonging and Freedom. Gianpiero's words got closer to the bone of identity. He reminded us that what I do is who I am. Leadership is not an external title pinned to a job description. It is an internal state of living one's truth. Yet he also highlighted the paradox. Organizations must offer both belonging and freedom. Without belonging, people feel rootless. Without freedom, they suffocate. Leaders must craft environments where both can coexist, where people feel seen and safe, yet also trusted to fly in their own direction. The foundation for this, he argued, is deceptively simple: paying attention and having conversations. But in an era of digital distraction, real attention has become rare, almost radical. Leadership is less about speeches and more about the quality of listening. He made me realize that even the smallest exchange, an eye held, and a question asked, a silence honored, can reinforce someone's sense of belonging while giving them the courage to act freely. Simon Sinek, The Messy Heart of Leadership. Simon's presence was, as always, both comforting and challenging. He insisted that when a company is purpose-driven, decisions no longer feel forced, they align naturally. Purpose acts like a compass, so even when the road is foggy, direction remains steady. He reframed leadership skills in strikingly human terms: patience, listening, curiosity, even maternal instincts. These are not often found in corporate training manuals, yet they are the skills that create safety and connection. He called it leadership of the heart. It is messy, unpredictable, and human, but also the most enduring form of leadership. One of his metaphors I loved: practice plays, not wins. It is a reminder that sustainable success is not about chasing constant victories, but rehearsing the fundamentals again and again. He admitted that writing his books is excruciatingly hard, yet that difficulty itself makes him wiser, because it forces him to stretch. Perhaps the most liberating idea was his acceptance that missing the numbers but keeping the trend is okay. In business, we often panic over the immediate figures, but Simon reminded us to zoom out. What matters is momentum, direction, and the heartbeat of purpose, not every tick of the financial meter. April Rinne, the practice of becoming. April's talk felt like a gentle mirror, asking us to pause. Her central question was both disarming and profound. What am I practicing at becoming? She reframed mess not as something to be cleaned up, but as opportunity in its purest form. Disorder, uncertainty, even chaos. These moments are where fresh insights hides. If only we are brave enough to look differently. Her mantra, borrowed from Navy SEAL training, was slow is smooth, smooth is fast. The counterintuitive truth is that by slowing down, we actually accelerate our effectiveness. A clear mind, uncluttered by rushing or multitasking, makes sharper decisions and sustains energy over time. She also spoke about letting go, not just of grudges or past mistakes, but of the heavy armor of always having the answers. True change requires unlearning assumptions, discarding outdated beliefs, and making peace with uncertainty. She warned that deep change often remains invisible to us because it contradicts our current plans or worldview. Fear narrows our vision, courage widens it. Listening to her, I felt the urgency of slowing down. Not to do less, but to see more. Diana Candor, escaping the gravity of success. Diana's session was a jolt of pragmatism. She described success as having gravitational pull. Once we achieve something, the very weight of that achievement drags us into the status quo. We keep repeating what works, and that slows our growth. She offered 3 reframed questions that could unlock momentum. 1. Instead of asking what should we add, ask what should we stop doing. 2. Instead of how can we improve, ask what does version 2.0 look like. 3. Instead of how can I do this, ask who can help with this. These questions demand subtraction, reinvention, and collaboration. The opposite of our usual instinct to pile on more, tweak the old, and take on everything ourselves. Her final metaphor was powerful. Start with a blank sheet. Do not scribble over last year's strategy or add bullet points to yesterday's vision. Begin as if nothing exists. The future deserves fresh ink, not recycled drafts. Rick Rubin, Authentic Creation. Rick Rubin's talk was less keynote, more meditation. He spoke as though leadership and creativity were the 2 sides of the same coin. His mantra, listen to all ideas and all people, but act only from authenticity. He warned against the deadliest phrase in any company. This is the way it has always been done. That mindset suffocates originality. The antidote is childlike wonder, keeping alive the sense of excitement and curiosity we often abandon in adulthood. He urged us to create not for popularity but for truth. Popularity is fleeting, but truth is durable. His philosophy is to make the best version possible of anything, even when it is not the smartest financial choice in the short term. The long view matters more. Perhaps his most liberating thought was about self-doubt. The voices that stop us are just chatter, not reality. Too often decisions are watered down by persuasion, by trying to win people over instead of staying true. That is how mediocrity creeps in. Instead, Rick suggested building shared frameworks, models that everyone can see together. When we align perspectives through a common model, we can debate meaningfully without falling into endless persuasion. We stop convincing and start creating. Closing thought. Amelia, what tied all these voices together was the insistence that leadership is less about control and more about becoming. It is not a static skill set, but an evolving practice, reshaping culture, creating belonging, leading with the heart, slowing down to see, breaking the status quo, and staying authentic. At Nordic Business Forum 2025, I realized leadership is not a crown to be worn, but a discipline to be lived. It is a shadow we cast, a conversation we hold, a blank page we dare to write, and above all, a refusal to betray our own authenticity. This is your moment. Take command and show us the path. That wraps up today's episode. Thank you for being here. To keep exploring leadership, character, and other topics that help you and the girls in your life to grow with purpose, visit youtube.com/@Emberhart.co.